It's quite an unusual espionage thriller in the sense that this is about an anarchist collective who are basically going after corporate fat cats who are ignoring their social responsibility. How many of the scenarios in the film that we see are based on true life events?
Every single corporate crime in the movie is based on 100% fact. So the pharmaceutical drug that's on the market in the East that the East goes after is based on a real pharmaceutical drug that's on the market now.
Brilliant. And this is your second outing with Britt Marling, who of course you co-wrote the movie with, and she also stars in it. Now I gather that the theme came from a really interesting summer that you two spent together. Can you please tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we spent the summer of 2009 looking for how other people our age were sort of eking out meaningful lives for themselves on the road.
So you actually did the whole diving in dumpsters, eating food that other people had discarded and things like that?
But it's not like it's like a hamburger someone's discarded. It's packaged food that has to be thrown out legally in the back of any grocery store. There are, dumpsters filled with food that's headed to a landfill. And if you just pick the lock of the dumpster, throw it open, there's a cornucopia of bounty. And all you have to do is change your mindset from seeing it as waste to seeing it as a way to make breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So what are you hoping will be the outcome from this movie, that people will see it and it will bring about cultural change maybe?
Yeah, I'm hoping that everyone will start eating from dumpsters and stop wasting all their food. 24% of the food in the world is wasted.
So when you wrote the screenplay with Britt, did you ever imagine that you were going to end up with such a high-profile cast? Did you have them in mind? Because there are certain roles, Alexander Skarsgård, Ellen Page, I've seen them kind of do similar roles before. Did you actually pen it with them in mind?
No, we never try to do that. We try to stay open to see who's going to come into our web. If you pen it with someone in mind, you may limit yourself from all the great talent out there.
So the interesting thing I found about the movie is that the main female characters, particularly the ones played by Britt, Ellen Page, Patricia Clarkson, they're initially more aggressive and cold in comparison to the male characters we're introduced to, who seem really vulnerable from the beginning. Was it a deliberate thing to break down gender stereotypes?
Or it's just the way we see men and women. Men are vulnerable and kind, and women are tough as nails.
So,
just kidding.
The way the film has been edited actually takes the audience on the same journey as Britt's character, Sarah Moss. It evokes all those feelings of guilt and tension and self-doubt. And I just wondered, how difficult was that to edit, given that you are trying to create a simultaneous journey for the audience and the character?
Thank you for noticing the editing. I think it's one of the strongest elements of the film. And it was edited by Andy Weisblum. And then when Andy had to leave to go work on Noah, his mentor Bill Pankow came and finished the job, and it's a beautifully edited film. And I think that was the main concern, was to put yourself in Sarah's shoes and to go through that journey. I mean, that's my favorite thing in a movie, when you can really suture with the main character and experience the things they experience. And I think that's never more true in the East than in the straitjacket scene. I won't say much more of what that's about. You have to come see the film to see what that's all about.
It's interesting that you've said that, because the relationships depicted in the movie are really intimate. Some people might watch them and find it a bit uncomfortable. Now,
they do,
I'm sure. So in terms of, some of it seems a little bit cult-like, and then other parts of it seem to be bringing out the best parts of humanity, compassion, acceptance. So with that, how far are your characters driven by need to belong as well as their political beliefs?
Well, I think that our characters need to belong reflects our own desires to belong, and I don't just mean me and Britt's, but ours as a collective audience. I think we're hungry to not feel so alienated, to feel that we are part of a tribe or a community. That was the most salient part of the summer of 2009 for me and Britt, was that we felt, that we found a community on the road, that there were all these other people who were living tribally, and that was very appealing. And I think that essence is in the East, and in my favorite scenes, the stickiest, sweetest center scenes are those ones that you said it very eloquently when you said that they bring out some of humanity's best qualities, and I think empathy being key on that, or kindness.
So it was shot within a 2-month window, from what I gather. Is there anything else that you wanted to add to the film that you didn't have the time and budget to bring into it?
Yeah, every day in every scene.
And I guess I have to ask, it's a film about anarchy. What's the most rebellious thing you've ever done?
Maybe make this film with a corporation.